Now that we've completed the timeline follow back assessment, what I've done here is pulled up a not a previous participant, but someone who I had completed timeline follow back data with, the calendar with, but never ended up enrolling in the study. But what we're going to do here is that now that the data has been input into the Excel sheet, we will now gather the data and input it into REDCap. So to do that, first off, what we're gonna do is do a little bit of Excel adding up and summing up in order to fill out these little sections below here. This is meant to help record the total use sessions, gram estimates of their consumptions per week, sessions of flour, sessions of total grams of flour, sessions of concentrate, total hits of concentrate, as well as their total drinks numbered, cigarettes consumption as well, and then inputting that data into REDCap. So, for the week that we are interested in collecting, first I'm going to type in equals sum with the parentheses and to add up the total sessions of usage for the week of interest. Repeat the same thing for total grams usage for the week of interest. We'll repeat and rinse for the sessions of flour usage, which is pretty easy since there's nothing in here. Repeat and rinse for the grams of flour usage, and then repeat for their sessions of vape usage, followed by the number of hits for their vapes or concentrate usage. Just adding all those values up into the summary here below. In addition to that, we'll also uh, add a summary for their drink usage and their cigarette usage. In this case, if I recall, this participant did not actually smoke cigarettes. They still smoked like a vape pen, less that being like a tobacco pen or nicotine pen. It's the same way that how we calculate one hit of a vape pen being equivalent to zero point 0.1 grams of of cannabis. Um, the cigarette usage is the same thing. One hit of a vape pen of their nicotine vape pen is like just one cigarette. But now that we have that summary collected down here, we're able to take this information and add it to the REDCap. So let me go ahead and pause sharing my screen and share with you instead the REDCap portion of it that you would be filling out. This is just a test REDCap here. First off, you would mention the date that you're completing it, which is also the date of the visit that you completed the timeline follow back assessment on. We'll just say that it was for completed on the 14th of March. Start date is 1 week before the date of the assessment. End date is the day right before. Was the participant abstinent from cannabis? No. It was clear that the participant had used every day for the past 7 days. Total number of days the participant used cannabis out of the last 7 days, it was 7. Total number of times the participant used cannabis over the past 7 days. When we referred back to the timeline fallback, it was 42. This participant has smoked 42 times in the past 7 days. Total number of grams of cannabis used over the past 7 days. The participant mentioned that they had smoked 4.2 grams in the past 7 days. Number of times smoking cannabis 2 or more times in a single day. It was consistent for the participant that they smoked 7 days, all 7 days in the past 7 days, in the past week, that they smoked 2 or more times. Same can be said about them smoking 3 or more times in the past each day in the past 7 days. And then finally, the number of days using cannabis in 2 or more quadrants. So, exemplifying that if the participants smoked during two different time periods in a day, at least in a single day, out of 7 days, and for this participant, it was 7 as well. From here, we would then press yes or no whether the participant used any form of flower cannabis or TH or in the form of a joint, bong, or blunt. In this case, it was a no. This participant specifically liked using vape pens. So for that, we would click yes that they consume that they used concentrated forms of cannabis. Participant did mention on here that their THC percentage was between 85 to 90%. So we would just take an average of the two. If between 85 to 90%, so that being 87.5%. And then we would then go back to the timeline follow back calendar to input first off, the total number of vape/concentrate use sessions over the past week. That being was 42. And then the total number of hits of their vape pen or the concentrate in the past 7 days, and that was 42 as well. Continuing down to REDCap, we would also input data for their nicotine usage for the past 7 days. This case it was still 7 days in the last week that they smoked cigarettes or used any type of nicotine. And then the total number of cigarettes smoked over the past 7 days. This is not per day, this is over the past all nicotine usage in the past week. And that was 42 as well. Any alcohol usage in the past week? We would mention we would go back to the timeline follow back. Notice that there were 2 days that the participant used alcohol. And then we would record the total number of standard drinks that they had consumed over the past 7 days. That was a total of 4 drinks. They had a total of 4 drinks in the past week. And then calculate if any of the days were heavy drinking days. For women, a heavy drinking day is considered 4 or more drinks. For men, it is considered 5 or more drinks. This participant did not have any heavy drinking days in the past 7 days, so we put 0. Once done, we would switch it to complete, and then you would save in the exit form. And that is how you complete the timeline follow back instrument on REDCap.